A new lawsuit reveals the federal government pushed censorship tools to big tech companies to silence conservative voices.
Here now, Republican Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt. Senator, so great to see you. This is coming out as part of a bigger lawsuit, but it's astonishing that American taxpayer dollars were used to essentially peddle censorship tools to corporations that would then be used against those said taxpayers.
Well, it's Orwellian. I mean, this is a real live ministry of truth. This isn't a novel. This isn't some dystopian worldview. This is actually happening in the United States of America with the vast power and authority the federal government has, partnering and colluding with some of the biggest companies in the history of the world to silence Americans. And it happened in a couple different ways. One, the federal government would threaten to take away these Section 230 protections, which shield them from liability if they didn't censor more or censor what they wanted them to censor. And then also, you know, the federal government working, as we've uncovered in that lawsuit and what's been, you know, further amplified by the Twitter files, of all these different agencies setting up special networks for, you know, them to communicate directly with big tech companies like the Surgeon General of the United States, texting back and forth with a senior Facebook official, take that down. We saw it during, you know, during COVID, the origins of COVID stories or theory, the lab leak theory, which is proven, you know, to be the most likely theory. They were censoring people, threatening to take away people's medical licenses, the Hunter Biden laptop story. You can go on and on about these instances where the federal government now has been weaponized against the American people to silence them and censor them, and they don't get to do it. And they certainly don't get to outsource that censorship to big tech either.
But so now we know what's happened. We know they're doing it, but how do you stop it? I mean, they're going to keep doing it unless the Senate and the House step in and take some aggressive action to make them knock it off. And can you do that?
Yes, we can and we should, and you know, I hope to lead that effort in the Senate. You know, I think the way this is played out, the arc of this story here, guys, is, you know, when I was Attorney General of Missouri, we filed the lawsuit, got the discovery, we took Anthony Fauci's deposition, you know, we took Elvis Chan's deposition at the FBI, where they were admitted to having, you know, weekly censorship beatings. I mean, this was happening in the United States of America, you know, leading up to the 2020 election during the, you know, the COVID times here. But so we exposed that. I think what Jim Jordan's doing is really important. I testified in front of that weaponization subcommittee to further amplify that. And then we need to move forward with action to make sure this never happens again. I intend to help lead that charge in the Senate. And here's why this is also important. They wrote the playbook with COVID, guys. I mean, if you create an emergency, you call it an emergency, then use these emergency powers to silence people. Just pick the next issue, whether it's climate alarmism, whatever it is. This is an administration hell-bent on power and control, and they're willing to censor, violate the First Amendment. And it's also important because that's our pressure release valve in this country. We have the ability to say, to speak our mind, to express ourselves. That is our pressure release valve in the public square or in the virtual public square. We cannot allow the federal government to take that away.
This was a direct violation of the First Amendment. Full stop. Senator, thank you so much. Great to see you. Please come back very soon, Senator Eric Schmitt.
We'll do it.
Thanks, Senator.
Just really quickly,
Yeah.
because